did science just prove why The Simpsons went bad? The continuing adventures of Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie, and Bumblebee Man is, according to fans, simultaneously the best show of all time and the worst show of all time. From the Michael Jackson back 1990s hit song Do the Bartman to the current crop of steamed hams memes, The Simpsons has given us so many memories over the past 31 years. That's right, The Simpsons debuted on The Tracy Ullman Show 31 years ago. Though many fans think of The Simpsons as a non-stop, unforgettable luncheon, others think, egads, that roast was ruined many years ago. Regardless, it's safe to say that most people's fond memories of Springfield's first family are from a few of the show's early seasons and not the literal 20 years worth of episodes that followed. So, when did The Simpsons fall apart? Many critics refer to the golden age of The Simpsons being between seasons 3 and 8. Others say the final episode of The Simpsons' best season was the last episode written by the show's original writers, which was the 5th season episode titled Cape Fear, where Sideshow Bob notoriously could not stop stepping on rakes. Other critics say that the episode that caused the series to fall off a cliff was when the series focused less on grounded stories about family struggles and more on weird nonsense, which many fans believe really started on the season 11 episode E.I.E.I. Annoyed Grunt, because of its heavy focus on the tomato-tobacco hybrid plant called tobacco. Or maybe it's when Homer's negligence and stupidity actually got a character killed. Frank Grimes, anyone? Needless to say, fans are all over the map on the why, the when, and the where it all began to fall apart. But now, thanks to science, a definitive answer may have solved the riddle that is more complex than finding the state that Springfield is in.
Yeah, why aren't we on the map?
I don't know.
Dublin-based PhD student Nathan Cunningham took a statistical approach to find out exactly how and when the Simpsons quality dip began. In his surprisingly detailed research study, Cunningham scoured IMDb to gather 2 key pieces of info on each and every Simpsons episode: the writers' names and the IMDb rating for that episode. He had to trim up that list when he realized that The Simpsons has had over 100 writers credited over its seemingly endless 29-season run. So, Cunningham chose to exclude anyone with less than 10 writing credits, which gave him a much more manageable list. He also gives the disclaimer that IMDb ratings are not the most scientifically sound source of data, since the ratings can be skewed, but this is the best that he had when it came to hard Simpsons data. Now, the next step in Cunningham's Simpsons research was averaging out the IMDb ratings for each writer's episodes, and then he graphed those averages, which showed the range of ratings associated with each writer. Early Simpsons writing pair Josh Weinstein and Bill Oakley were at the top with the highest average rating for their episodes, while current writer co-exec producer Jeff Westbrook was at the bottom. And here's another stat that is interesting. The graph also shows that, for the most part, the newer writers have the lower average ratings, while the earlier writers have the highest. Cunningham points out that the takeaway for some folks might be that the newer writers are worse than the original and they're to blame for the show's decline, but he admits that his research doesn't necessarily mean that changes in the writing staff led to the show's decline, but yeah, you could use that data to make that claim. So according to science, when did everything start to fall apart for The Simpsons? Well, based on all the research, it looks like it was shortly after the 200th episode mark, Trash of the Titans, which is right at the end of the 9th season. So there you go, according to math, season 10 was the beginning of the end. Of course, this is just one way to analyze The Simpsons' downfall, and even though it's probably the most scientific approach we've seen to this decades-old debate, it's still not perfect. There are so many other factors in how a show gets made, so take the scathing ranking of Simpsons writers with a gigantic grain of salt.
Sacrilegious.
But what do you folks think? When do you think The Simpsons fell apart? Do you think research science can explain why Lisa turned 8 years old twice? And do you want to see Sideshow Bob step on a rake again? Because we do! Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we drop a video or go live with the show. Nerdoween is coming to an end, but Bizarre States is still in full swing. You can catch new episodes of Bizarre States California on Alpha with the promo code BIZARRE, and don't forget to check out our Bizarre States podcast live on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. PT on Nerdist YouTube, Project Alpha, and Twitch.